Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, everybody.
Welcome everybody. Hope you're having a beautiful Monday evening, or who knows, maybe you're somewhere else in the world and it's morning for you. Monday morning. No, that'd be Tuesday. Tuesday morning. Either way, welcome to the show. Hey, Magician Jester, you were here earlier today. It's pretty cool. Yeah, if you guys didn't know, Joe actually started a series that goes on in the mornings for us. It was about like 14 hours ago that you guys did that.
Yeah, we started at 6:30.
Yeah, a new stream is going on almost every morning, like 5 days a week. Is that how it goes? All
Yep,
right.
that's
It's called Double Cup of Joe. You get to see, of course, Joe. That's just below me here, CDVNL. But you also get to see another Joe, which is slightly above average Joe, or I guess he goes by many names. The Count. Um, anyways, so yeah, if you guys don't know about that, you do now. It airs every morning, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and you should stop on by if you're up for it. But yeah, it was 14 hours ago. So if you can, wait, is it 14? Is that right? Is that right? I'm just double checking. Or is it 15?
I don't know. What's 6 plus 9? 15.
15 hours ago?
Well, a little less than 15. Yeah, because it was 6:30. So, yeah,
Oh, okay.
14 and a half.
So
Yeah,
if you go back to 14 and a half hours ago, whatever time zone you're in right now, it's a little complicated.
that's what time it was.
That's what time it starts.
The
Yeah.
easiest way is just subscribe and hit the bell because then you'll
There
get the
you go.
notification and then you'll
Yeah.
know because, yeah.
Yeah. Subscribe, hit that bell, and you'll be made aware. Hopefully,
Smash.
you have to rely on the internet to actually do something for you. Sometimes it doesn't. Anyways, welcome to Don't
Don't
Muddle
welcome.
Monday. Don't welcome
Don't
yourselves
welcome.
to Don't Muddle Monday. Yeah, the stream where we talk about whatever is going on in your life, whatever's worrying you at the time. We're here to be friends, to give some advice, but mostly give you encouragement, because a lot of times you already know what you need to do or just need to talk it out, and then you can figure it out by yourself. But
Mhm.
on that note, we are not professionals in psychiatrists or psychiatry, um, or we're not professional cops or many other things. But we are friends, and we love you. So we hope to give the best to make your life the best we can make it. Yeah. So how you doing today, Joe?
Man, I'm excellent.
Awesome.
I'm super excited. It's crazy to be, I think about this, and Joe and I kind of planned out doing the Double Cup of Joe show, and we were
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, we're gonna do this 5 days a week. And it was like, oh man. So then I sat there and I thought about it, and I'm like, so we upped our stream here to 3 days a week,
Yeah.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then we added Double Cup of Joe 5 days a week. So that's 5 streams plus three. I'm on 8 times in a week,
Yeah.
twice a day, 3 days a week. And I was like, this is going to be really cool. So if I'm really terrible at streaming,
Yeah.
I'll
Now's your
probably
chance to
get
get better.
I'll probably get good at it after a while.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's exciting. I'm just really glad to be able to do this and to be here with all of you guys. I think that's really cool. And
Yeah. Yeah. That's actually, you're streaming more than I am now, I think. So that's crazy, man. I stream
Joe
with
says the
me and
math checks out.
Jesse.
Joe, go to bed.
Yeah.
I got to take a nap after our stream today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. What about
I
you,
think
Count? What about you,
I don't think
Joseph Bohan? Did you?
I
He
know
had to work. I thought
Joe
so.
had to work. Oh, poor guy. He's probably
Oh,
still at work, actually.
yeah. He's here in the chat with us, but he's
I
probably
know.
still at work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, guys, in the mornings, check out Joseph Bohan, who's in the chat right now with us, and Joseph Anderson below me, for a double cup of Joe. Start your mornings off right, with the right attitude and the right cup to make your day go well. Um. So cool. Yeah. What do you say we get started on this?
Yeah, because this is Don't Worry Wednesday. Well, actually, it's Don't Muddle Monday.
Yeah, don't muddle Monday this time. It's not Don't Worry Wednesday. It's a Monday.
Yes.
Don't want to throw you off your week schedule, making you. I know that the week schedule is already pretty crazy with not going to work or to school or whatever, and so you're like, I don't even know what day it is. Well, we're here to remind you what day it is. It is Don't Muddle Monday, and let's make it the best we can. Let's start off by reading. I'm gonna read off some names. If you're here, just be like, "Yo, that's me," and then we can talk about whatever you posted last time you posted. Anyways, the lineup is as follows: Hyrule, Sumner Kagan, John Doe, Man Left Behind, Eric Bodine, Caffery, Lord Francium, Rosie, Toast, Subaru, You, Sparrow, Akil, Amira, Wandering Soul, Munkerstar, and Princess. If any of you guys are here, please drop a hey yo in the chat. I know from what I just said, we've got Princess. That's for sure.
Princess says, "Yo, not ready yet."
Oh, they're not ready yet. Well, someone's got to be ready, because otherwise we're just gonna be standing around doing nothing. So, yeah. Hey Tsubasa, how's it going? I'm everyone and nothing at once. How? How is that possible? Yeah. So anybody got anything on their minds? Anything they want to talk about? Remember to feel free to post it in the chat or send us an email if you want to remain anonymous, or you can put it on the website at bss.studio. And let us know whatever's on your mind, whatever you're worried about this week. You know, could be something like, you know, family life or your friends. I mean, you've been away from your friends for a while now, and you're starting to feel like, man, I don't know what to do with myself. I'm so bored. You know, maybe you have a pet that's currently suffering with an ailment, and you're there's all sorts of different stuff in life.
There are.
Yeah.
Sakura says, "Can I just say the popcorn with Nutella is super tasty?"
Popcorn with Nutella actually would be good. That's a good
combo.
combo.
I'm so jealous.
I never had that combo, but it sounds good.
I love Nutella. It's so good. It's so not good for you, but I never ever get to have it anymore because my youngest son has a severe tree nut allergy. So it's like, well, you know, if he can't have it, then we all kind of can't have it and stuff. And so it's like, well,
yeah. So one thing that's kind of funny about Nutella, a lot of people say like it's not chocolate, it's hazelnut. And then I look at the ingredients, like one of the first ingredients. So the first ingredient is sugar. Like the second or third ingredient is like cocoa. So I'm like, guys, no, it's chocolate. Like, yes, it has hazelnut in it, but it's chocolate. Don't be like, it's not chocolate, it's hazelnut. It's totally chocolate, guys. Let's be honest. It's chocolate nut with hazel in it.
Yeah, it's mostly chocolate. You're right. Tsubasa says, "Has anyone asked how to stay positive with all the news today?" That is actually a very, very good question because it's crazy. There's so much going on and it's changing so fast. We talked a little bit about this. You know, that's kind of our opening week for Double Cup of Joe shows. We're kind of talking about how to stay calm through all this, and it fits well with Ryan's latest release, "Stay Calm." Although that song doesn't make me calm.
No, it doesn't make anyone calm. That's the point. That's the point. That's like, can you stay calm through this? Well, then, if not, you're not prepared yet. Come on.
Right. But it can't. It's kind of tough, you know. I mean, when you're bombarded with messages of how bad things are all the time, and you just get stressed about it. I was sitting there. I was at my in-laws' house this weekend, and they were on the phone, and I was fixing lunch and kind of doing dishes at the same time. I like to do that, right? And they were on the phone in the other room, and they were just talking about it, and just going on and on and on and on and on about all things stressful, and I could just kind of feel my blood pressure going up because they're just talking about it and talking about it and talking about it and talking about it. I'm like, man. So one thing that I could recommend if you want to stay positive through all this is unplug regularly from that.
Yeah.
Just try and unplug from whatever news source, or I mean, if you got to go be by yourself, close your bedroom door and, you know, like just lay there still. And it's the perfect time to dream about possibilities, because this isn't going to last forever.
Right.
You know,
it'll be over before you know it.
Yeah, before we know it. Magician Gesture says, but hey, this is the first pandemic in the world of advanced science and society. That's very true. I think the last one was in 1918. I think the last one that was.
No. This is funny. I was on YouTube earlier looking at some really old videos. I was like, oh, I remember these guys. I started looking around, and then I was like, swine flu. I remember the swine flu. That was like 10 years ago.
That wasn't like this, though.
Yeah, it was. It was everywhere around the world, and they made a big deal out of it. They didn't close people down from shops, but it killed just as many people. I mean, it was
we
the
don't
same
know
thing.
yet.
Well, okay. It will kill basically the same amount of people. They're both just flus.
This hasn't run its course yet.
That's true.
So
that's true.
We're seeing. But yeah, I mean, so it's happened before, and it ravages. It goes through society, and you know, it unfortunately makes a lot of people sick, and some people die, and you know, it's really it's a painful experience. But I guess to stay positive, you know, one thing is I would say unplug, because there's a difference between taking precaution and being safe, which I would suggest everybody do that. You know, listen to them, be safe. You know, don't try to avoid touching your hands, try to avoid touching your face, you know, unless you've washed your hands and stuff. And for those of you using lots of hand sanitizer out there, it'd be good to have some hand lotion too, because that stuff's going to dry the snot out of your hands. And but I've experienced that. Like I'm almost putting lotion on almost as much as I'm washing my hands, just because all the hand washing and hand sanitizers dried out my skin. But there's a difference between being safe and being freaked out.
Sure.
You know, like you can be safe and you know, like follow the precautions and do all that stuff and still remain calm and positive and understand, hey, you know what? I'm doing the best I can. And all that's going on around me, you know, I can't control it. So I should probably not let it affect me as much as I do. So then I go and do little mental exercises. Like I remember what I'm thankful for. I remember what I'm looking forward to. And I try and get into action mode of making my life better. And those are the things that I'm doing. So Ryan, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I would say a lot of the same things. I would just, you know, turn off the news, turn off all of that negative media, because you already know it's out there, right? Listening to more and more and more and more of it doesn't change anything. The only thing it does is it just makes your brain focused on it more and more and get more stressed out, and it's unnecessary, right? So yeah, just turn it off, tune it out, and know that it's out there, but that as long as you're being safe, you know, you don't have to go crazy. You don't have to stress out over it. You know, you can just you know, stay indoors or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Overreacting causes more issues than underreacting. In certain cases. I mean, and you guys know that to be the case. I mean, you look at the ridiculous things that happen, like like, oh no, this pandemic's happening, and people are like literally fighting over toilet paper. And by literally, I mean like people are like punching each other and hitting each other because they want to get the last roll of toilet paper at Walmart. That's overreaction. Like it's unnecessary. It does more harm than good. Right. And so instead of overreacting, it's better to just kind of get into a mental zone where you're just like, yeah, it's out there, but whatever. Like there's not anything I can actually do about it. And so I'll just be me. I'll do my life and not worry about whatever's going on with that. I'm just going to focus on the things that I'm capable of doing. Right. Focus on my own talents or my own life, my own career coming. This is a great time. You've got a lot of people have time off. Like Joe was saying, this is a great time to just start thinking about life. What are you going to do? You dream build. Where do you want to be in the future? Type of things like that. It's all good stuff, right? So focus on things that are good. Instead of spending your time focusing on things that you have no control over, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. So there's a lot of the same thing that Joe's talking about, but yeah, I mean, absolutely. Another thing you can do is when you get fed negative information, just identify it as that. Just be like, oh, that's just negative information, right? Like it might be true, right? But there's the fact that it's like not really helping you. Like you can watch the news all day, and there are people who do, especially the older generation, watch the news all day, and everything is always going wrong in the world. You talk to those people, and they act like everything in the entire world is going wrong. Always. They're just downers. They have a hard time being positive because they're constantly being fed negative information, right? So if you can identify what negative information is, then you can identify what not to participate in your life going forward, right? And instead you can go, okay, that's a negative information. I'm just going to close that out. I'm just going to close that door. I'm just going to walk away from that. I'm just going to, not associate with that. Instead, I'm going to focus on something else and feed yourself positive information. Positive information is like, Don't Worry Wednesday, or, other news that covers positive things. There's networks and stuff like that out there, which is really cool. So take your time, showering yourself in positive information that builds you up as a human being, right? Information that teaches you something. Maybe you're trying to become a better artist. That's positive information if you're feeding yourself good art. Maybe you're trying to become a better musician, right? There's all sorts of different songs out there in different genres, and there's different messages inside those music. You can listen to music that has positive messages or no message at all, and it's just instrumentation, right? But you're learning from it, right? So there's all sorts of different avenues you could spend your time focusing on instead of the negative. So I think that's important, being able to recognize, okay, this is negative media. I'm just going to not be associated with it because it's only going to make me feel negative. And I think that's really crucial in our lives today. All of us as human beings who are inside the cultures, especially with this mass media, like media is everywhere. It's at the tip of our fingers on our phones or on the computer or whatever, right? So it's so quick to get all this information. I think it's important to recognize, what is this? What kind of information is this? And is it helping me or is it hurting me? And then make the correct call and action on that,
Yeah.
Really good.
Yep. And do everything you can to be involved in positive chat areas. That's one great thing about this, is since we're all kind of on lockdown, we're all at home and we got to do stuff. Now, my job is one of the exempt ones. The mortgage inspection industry apparently is essential to apparently. Okay. So I'm still, going out and working, but I basically spend all day just sitting in my car by myself. So It's not like I'm not in contact with anybody most of the time anyway. So, so at any rate, but for the rest of the time, I mean, I can't go to Taekwondo classes.
Right.
I can't do stuff like that. So it's like, okay, so then I'm at home, I'm at my computer or sleeping. And so I can go to the Twitch streams that Ryan and Jesse are doing, the gaming streams, and hanging out there in the chat. I can, we're here doing these streams. As we launch other streams, I would just want to be around this group of people that's in the chat right now, and others that have been here before, because you guys are so awesome. And as much time as I could spend around you guys, that'd be great. I mean, there are different groups on Discord that are great. I mean, just find the people in your life online that are positive, and get in those chat rooms, go to those streams, go, do those things that involve you with other people that are going to lift you up. And that's one of the great things about the community here at BSS. And as we continue to move forward and release more streams, and try and grow things, and on our website, you can hang out there. We want to make that more friendly for hanging out. But yeah, if you can just get around people online that are going to lift you up, that'll make a huge difference.
Yeah.
Because then you won't feel so alone.
Sparrow, you said, whose worry is this? It comes from Tsubasa. It says, has anyone asked how to stay positive with all the news today? So that's what we're talking about. And yeah, honestly, that's kind of like what we're here to do. That's what we've always been here to do. As Don't Worry Wednesday, help put some positivity into your life that will fuel you in your energy to overcome whatever negativity or problems that lie ahead of you. That's actually what Don't Worry Wednesday is all about. And so we're kicking it up and doing it 3 times a week instead of just 2, instead of just 1, especially because of the current situation going on in the world. It needs more negativity, because the mainstream media, all of the news is centered around all this negative stuff. Like, the human race is not going to end, guys. And if it does, let's end it with a bang. But it's not going to end, right? It's not even going to come close. Yeah. Right? So let's focus on what lies ahead of all of this issue, all of this ho-hum negativity. Like, oh no, yeah, people are dying. It is sad, right? It is important to understand that and take the right actions from it. But it is not important to feel disheartened about life. Life continues on, and it is an amazing thing. And we need to make the best of it that we can. And that isn't sitting around feeling negative all day because of all of the, disasters and stuff like that. It's about you, because you're a gift, right? You exist in this world, and you are a gift. And everything you do is a gift for the world. What kind of gifts are you giving? Yeah. Are you giving people a snake as a gift that will bite them? Because that's kind of like what the news is doing. Or are you a person that will give someone a gift like a pencil to write with, or a book to read, something that will uplift them, something that will give them strength, talent, and a better life, right? So you and your actions in the world matter. So I think it's important to keep that in consideration, and we're here to be that gift to you guys as well. If you give you positive information, help you overcome whatever is going on in this world right now. Yeah. So,
and we're gonna try and figure out how to get Ryan on just by himself, just talking, like maybe even just reading something out loud, because listening to Ryan's voice is something that just makes me feel better.
Oh, does it? That's so nice. That's very sweet of you. Yeah. Honestly, I've heard that before. It's weird to me because that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. If I do that, I'll have to get a little bit closer to the mic type of stream. Hey guys, just want to let you know, today we're doing a Ryan Talks About the World. Wow, look at the world. Isn't it wonderful? Maybe I'll have to do one of those streams someday. We'll just do a stream where it's just straight up nice, calm.
I mean, you could read the news reports and make people feel good about it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we'll just give you like a newspaper or something, and like, you can read it out loud.
That's right.
It'd be all this bad news, but you feel good about it.
12 minutes. Pretty sweet. All right. Oh, 20 people died today at the cost of a. Okay, that's cool. Very nice. Yes. All right. You know, like, does that make news better? Does that make it sound like it's okay?
I don't know.
Mm-mm.
Probably not.
No, I don't think
But
so.
yeah, but to go along with what Ryan was talking about before, if you have some kind of creative ability, whether it's writing or music or art or something, now's the time to really hone in on that. Like, it's a great time to figure out. Ryan was talking about, what can you do to contribute to the world? What can you do to be a gift to the world? To share your gifts with the world, which is, whatever talents and abilities you have, just create. And you can lose yourself. You can totally, this time when we'd be maybe bored and just freaking out, you can be creating and totally be lost in the creation of something great.
Mm-hmm.
And
absolutely,
it becomes your whole universe.
Oh yeah.
And then there you are. And then at the end of it, you have this finished product of something that's beautiful, and you can share it on bss.studio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's for sure.
Or you can share it with the world in any way you want. But we are on the lookout, you guys. I just want to kind of give you guys a plug and say, hey, if you have stuff that you want shared with the world, we are looking for stuff to promote.
Mm-hmm.
And so feel free, share it on bss.studio and see. We want to lift up everyone's creations. We want to lift you guys up.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Do whatever we possibly can to share your beauty with the world.
Yeah, because the more we do that, right, the more greatness there is in the world. The more we share whatever talents and beauty you guys create, whatever gifts you have to share with the world, the more we share that, the more everybody gets rewarded with gifts. It's great, right? It's pretty sweet. Mm-hmm. So that's what we're here to hopefully do for you guys. So if you're creative in any way, whether it be art, whether it be writing stories, whether it be music, maybe it's a specific type of body thing, like you can do yoga and you can teach people how to do yoga better. All sorts of different stuff, right? Yeah, we want to share that. But moving on, I think that hopefully we've covered this topic. It's kind of an interesting one, and thanks for coming up with one for us on the fly there, Tsubasa. We appreciate you. You rock.
Yes, thank you.
Yep. It looks like we've got Sparrow here, as well as Princess has finished hers. So, yeah. Let's see here.
Sparrow is here.
Sparrow is here. Do you wanna do that one? Sure. I don't even see princesses anymore. She removed it or something.
Maybe we'll do princesses next.
Okay. All right, let's do this then.
And Princess just posted the link. Look at that. Like a boss. Like the boss she is. Thanks, Princess.
Thanks, Princess. All right. By the way, love the dark theme, Jesse. So cool. Thank you. Dark theme is so beautiful. Shout out to Swilk and Jesse for producing a new theme on the website. If you go to the website right now, you can experience Swilk's theme. I think that's the default. If you go to the bottom of the page, you can switch it to dark theme. I really like that one. That one's my favorite. So yeah, check it out. It's beautiful.
And if you have access to one called Gross 2.0, click on that.
Yeah, that'll make you feel real good about yourself.
I don't know if Jesse made that public or
I hope he didn't, because that one's so bad. It's not as bad as the gross that you picked, but Gross 2.0 is still pretty gross. All right.
He didn't. Okay.
That's
a public service for all of you. You should thank Jesse.
Yes. Thank Jesse for not making that one live. Yes, public service indeed. All right. So here we are. This one is from Sparrow. It's called Time, Friends, Distance. A comma between the three words. It reads as follows. Sparrow is here, currently on a 2-week break from any schooling. I have a lot of time to do whatever I want. I've never been really good at making friends, but now it seems impossible. How can I get better at this? P.S. I hope everyone is well and healthy. From Sparrow. Thank you, Sparrow. Yeah, so that's an interesting question. I mean, especially right now, right? You're on a 2-week break. There's no school. There's not like a whole lot of human interaction. So you're not really. You said you're not really good at making friends in the first place, but now it feels like it's impossible. How can you get better at making friends? And how can you make friends right now in this kind of distant time, where we're distant from a lot of people due to the environment? So yeah, this is a good topic. I think we have a lot to talk about here. So Joe, why don't you get us started?
Okay. Well, first of all, Sparrow, thank you for posting. And
yeah, we love you.
this is great. And it's crazy because you said this was last Wednesday that you posted this. If your state is anything like ours, then that 2-week break it seems to continually get longer. Like they keep adding time to things. They keep saying, okay, well now, or they restrict things more and tack on another week or whatever, right? And so it seems to be getting longer and longer and longer. I know my kids, they said, okay, well, you're off school until April 5th. And then now with today's newest development, the governor said there's no public gathering until April 12th. So that would then push that back, another week. And then I know there's rumors, all kinds of things, people saying, well, I'm sure they're not going back to school for the rest of the year, and then my brother was talking to me. He's like, there are some people talking about we shouldn't go back to school until they have a vaccine, which could be 18 months.
Well, they should just not go back to school at all.
Right.
Ever. School is so terrible. No, it's not.
Dumb, right? Sparrow says online schooling next week. Okay, so at least that'll keep you busy doing something. So that'll be all right. And there's going to be some adapting to that type of environment, to doing online schooling. It's funny, like I've had to adapt to online martial arts training.
Yeah.
Which is really weird. So like my background here changes, right? When you come to see Double Cup of Joe show,
right?
And you interact with us.
You have to wake up in the middle of the night.
You'll see a different background. It's not a whole lot different, but it is somewhat different. And then I change it again for doing martial arts classes. I make it bigger and wider, and change. I've got some space to deal with back there. But I need, how am I going to do martial arts in this little tiny little?
Yeah, right. You'll do, I don't know, squashed martial arts.
Exactly, right. So it was funny because the instructor was watching me, and he was like, we were doing forms, and in the form there's like this reverse spin hook kick, and he was like, okay, you need to, you're not quite getting as far out on your hook kick. And I'm like, that's because my desk is right there and I'm going to kick a whole bunch of stuff over. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't want to break everything. Sparrow, to answer your question, is Double Cup of Joe only on Mondays? No. Double Cup of Joe show is Monday through Friday.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Every one of them. Every
day, 6:30 in the morning. We're going to be there. Unless we forget to wake up or something.
And that's our time. Right now, our time is 9:50 p.m. So 6:30 in the morning was quite a while ago.
Yep, that's Eastern time. So At any rate, okay. So Sparrow, you say you've never been really good at making friends, but now it seems impossible. And that can be super frustrating, because one of the ways that we get good at anything is just practice. And if you can't be out around people, how are you going to get good at making friends with people? Right. It can be tough. And so, but one thing is that you're here in this chat. And I know that I consider you a friend. I've never met you face to face. I don't know what you look like in person, but I consider you my friend because I've interacted with you here. You seem like a friendly person, and I enjoy all the times that I've gotten to spend in conversation with you, whether here or on Discord, our sporadic Discord conversation. So my apologies. But yeah, now it's weird because we're kind of in hunker down mode a little bit. So a couple things I would do. One, do what you're doing right now by being involved in chat rooms and stuff like that. Being involved with other people in the digital world is a great way to just do that. And I'm going to prompt Ryan to allude to the Black Static story because, I mean, that if you've listened to his story about Black Static, and that persona that he had online, he was able to take that persona and bring it to the real world, which is incredible to me. And it just goes to show that we can be whoever we want to be. And if you have some time, also, it might be a good time to read some books. And if you're wondering about friends and how to be better with people, there's a great book called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. There is How to Have Confidence and Power in Dealing with People by Les Giblin. And that one, the title can seem like I'm going to be powerful over people. And that's not what it is at all. It's just that it's a book about human nature, and it talks about how we all kind of operate and just how humans are and how to then do that dance, with another person to, not manipulate them, but to be a welcome person for them. And so it really helps bridge the gap to another person to have some of this knowledge about human nature. And thank you, Princess, for posting the link to that book. That book changed everything for me. Everything, because I was so horrible with people. Absolutely horrible. I was so self-centered and so self-conscious. And part of it was just I didn't understand how people worked. It always felt like it was me against everybody else, except for a few friends that I had. And then when I started to read some of this stuff and I started understanding how people operate, and I'm like, you know what? That's right, because that's how I feel. I guess everybody else probably feels the same way because we're all people. And we like it when people act a certain way around us. We like it when people are nice to us. We like it when people smile. We like it when people ask us questions. We like it when people want to talk about us and our opinions, and we also like it when people let us talk. And it's, yeah, I mean, so there's a whole bunch of principles in there that are great. So anyway, that's what I have to get started. Oh, and you mentioned on there, I hope everyone is well and healthy. Yes. Another thing also during this time, to keep your spirits up while you're going through this and while you're doing whatever you can to not go crazy, figure out some way to be physically active. Figure out some way to get some kind of exercise, because when we're all cooped up, it's easy to get stressed. It's easy for that. It piles up on you more. And if you can just have a way, if you even just start with stretching, running in place, doing jumping jacks, doing push-ups, doing stuff that, I mean, it doesn't take a gym membership to get in good shape. You can just start right where you're at, and you have a little space, maybe just in your bedroom, where you can do some sit-ups and some push-ups and some jumping jacks and some stretching. You don't need a whole bunch of fancy stuff to do it. But if you can stay active, that's going to also help your mentality a lot. And then it also raises your confidence level with other people, which then helps bridge that gap to, a relationship, a friendship, or any type of relationship with other people. So That's what I have to get started. Ryan, take it away.
All right. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, I have so much to say. Sparrow, he said, I've never been really good at making friends. So here's a couple of things I wanna say about this. One, making friends is about being a friend, right? You're not gonna make a friend unless you're their friend first. You don't want to be like, hey, I'm your enemy, but I've made you a friend, so you're good to me, but I'm evil to you, right? That's not a thing, right? Making a friend is really about being a friend, because that's all you can do. You can only make your own choices. You can't make other people your friend, because that's their choice to make, right? When you go and you ask someone, hey, will you be my friend? It's like asking, hey, will you be on my side for the rest of your life? Like, and we can, do things together to better each other and always stick up for each other and, that sort of thing. You're asking for a pretty big commitment. But one thing you can do instead is look at it from your point of view and what you can do for them. So if you want to make friends, instead say, I want to be many people's friends. Because that's how you make friends. You be a friend, right? Now, here's the thing, Sparrow. I think you're already good at this. You just don't know yet. You say, I've never been really good at making friends. You know what's holding you back? That statement. You believe that statement. You believe that you're not good at making friends. But let me tell you, Sparrow, you have only shown us here that you are fully capable of making friends. You're my friend, and you didn't have to work very hard for that. Just because you're easy to get along with. You're a good person. You do point out good things about people. You are interested in people. You ask good questions. You are a really easy person to get along with, and there's no reason that you would have any difficulty making friends. If you go out into the real world and act as you do here, or act as you would, whoever you think would be the best version of yourself, right? You go out into the real world, go out, meet people, right? All you have to do is be the best version of yourself, and you're going to be making friends easy. I had one of the hardest things about making friends for me was that I thought everybody hated me. I just, for some reason, I had it in my brain that no one would want to be on my side, that everyone hated me. Because no one paid attention to me, or I had a bad reputation. I had a couple people make fun of me, so I assumed everybody thought that about me, right? My issue wasn't that I was bad at making friends. My issue was that I thought I couldn't make friends. So I didn't try. But as soon as I started trying, I started having so many people wanting to hang out around me all the time that I couldn't handle it. Like, there's just like too many people. Like, not too many people I couldn't handle, like I hated it, but it was like I don't have enough time in my day to spend with all these people. There's so many. I remember we had like, okay, so I mean, the story, Joe prompted me to tell it, so you've heard it before, but now it's directed at you, Sparrow. When I was like 14, I started playing online games, an MMORPG called Ragnarok Online, and it was a game based in Korea, but everyone around the world played it, and I met a lot of people on there. All right, so I started playing the game when I was 14, and I didn't make very many friends at first. I made like one or two. Ended up dating a girl that gave me a lot of confidence. I met this girl on the game, and we started dating after like a year or something. And then we switched servers a couple of times, and then by the time I was 16, or was it 15? 15 or 16? I can't remember exactly. I had developed a character on the game, and his name was Black Static. And that character on the game was really, if I think about it, I was just being myself. You know, I was interacting with people. I wasn't trying to put on a facade or pretend I was someone I wasn't. I was just being myself, right? But when I was on the character on the screen, it gave me time to think about everything I wanted to say. It gave me time to think like, okay, how do I want to do this best, right? How can I solve this problem best between these two people? And really what that meant was it allowed me to be the best version of myself. It allowed me to look at the scenarios and go, okay, what's the best response to this, right? And then I would act that out. And sometimes I would just be silly. I wasn't afraid to be silly. I wasn't afraid of people looking at me like I was crazy, because sometimes I would be. In the game, I put on this crazy hat and these big giant eyes and run around going, spamming the text, waka, 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 waka. And people are like, what is this guy doing? He's ridiculous. But no one hated me for it. They're just like, wow, he's weird. That's pretty cool. He's not afraid to be weird. All right. Some people thought it was hilarious. Some people are like, what are you doing? Stop it. You know, but it didn't matter. When at the end, like, you know, I eventually had like 200 plus people that were always like, I would log on to the game, and the second I logged onto the game, within the first 3 seconds, I would get 2, 3, sometimes 5, sometimes like 15 private messages going, hey, Static. Yeah. Waka, 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 waka. All in caps, exactly, just like that. People will be like, hey, Static. Like all the time. Whenever I went anywhere in the game, people were like, oh, hey. You know, people wanted to say hi. People wanted to hang out, right? How did that become the thing? Like, was I doing anything that was super incredible or super special? No, I was just trying to make people feel good. When I was hanging around people, I focused on them. And I said, you know, what can I say to this person to make them feel good, right? Because even though at the time I didn't know it, that's how you make friends. You know, that's how you make someone want to be around you, is you make them feel good about themselves, right? Mm-hmm. It's not about how you look to other people. It's not about your image. It's not about what you look like to others. It's about what they feel inside, right? I mean, that's honestly, you look at your friends, your best friends in the world, it's not because you're impressed by them. I mean, yeah, you might be, right? But you didn't go like, oh, I want to be that person's friend. And then you decide you want to continue being their friend just because you're impressed by them. If anything, you look at your best friends in the world and you go, these are the people that make me feel good. These are the people that I like being around, you know? You get people who are super impressive, but you don't want to spend any time around them, right? They don't make you feel good. They just make you feel bad, right? Those people are out there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not about what you look like to others. It's about what they look like to themselves when you're around them. You make friends like that, right? Mm-hmm. Spend time making people feel good, telling them what's cool about them, what you like about them, and then just be yourself. Eventually, I had like I said, everybody, like I had so many people online that were my friends. And it was crazy. So, and then I looked at my real life. I looked at my school life and I was like, wow, I've got 3 friends. That's not very many. What's wrong with me? Like, why is that a thing? Like, that doesn't even make sense. And then I look at it and I'm like, wow, actually, it does make sense. Because when I'm around people in real life, I'm nothing like I am in the game. In the game, I walk up to a person I never met before, sit down and make a friend. I just go up, hey, how you doing? Welcome to the game. How long you been here? Ask a few questions. Ask them who they are. Let them talk for a while, right? In real life, I was so afraid to do that. I never gave myself the chance to make any friends. But then I decided, you know what? I'm going to start forcing myself. I'm going to force myself when I'm at school to start sitting down next to people. Start complimenting people when I see something I like. Start doing the best I can to be this person I call Black Static, but in real life. And a lot of times I would be afraid to do it, but I said I was going to do this, so I'm going to do it. And I would walk up to a person and begin a conversation, and it was really scary. But you know what? It became easy after a while. And also, like I said before, I made a lot of friends. I went from being basically like nobody. I felt like nobody liked me. I felt like everybody was my enemy, right? I felt like everybody hated me at school. And then I got into a position where instead of being like that, I was a popular kid. I wasn't popular like the popular kid. I was popular because so many people knew me and so many people liked me. Wasn't in the popular crowd, didn't really talk to any of them, but there were a lot of people. The kind of like the crowd that how do you say it? Like the crowd of nerds, the crowd of like lonesome people who don't have any friends. We all banded together and we became like one of the largest groups in our school of people who are just friends, right? And they all started just because I was like, you know what? I'm going to get outside my comfort zone and start talking to people. I had everything it took to be a friend. And that's all it takes to make a friend. And that's the same for you, Sparrow. You have everything it takes to be a friend. But you actually have to do that in order to make a friend. So go out there and be someone's friend. And you'll find that you can make a friend pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. Don't be afraid of what they think of you. Don't be afraid of how you look. Don't be afraid that you can't make friends, because that's not a thing. That's not true. It's not reality. Right? We convince ourselves of things that we're afraid of, and then we make them a reality. Like, I literally believed that everyone hated me. Mm-hmm. And so I hated everyone back. I mean, it's true. I really did. I just like, wow, that guy's stupid. I called so many people stupid. Like, I just like look at anybody and be like, yeah, that guy's stupid. Like, I don't know them. I don't even know them. I see them do one thing that I'm like, yeah, I don't like that. They're stupid. Like, it wasn't even meant to be offensive. They weren't even targeting me. They were just like doing some trick with their pencil. And I'm like, yeah, that guy's stupid. He spends time like trying to figure out how to do a stupid trick with the pencil. That guy's stupid. Like, that was my attitude. Okay. You are way better than that, Sparrow. And if I could go from that to figuring out how to make people, like how to actually compliment people and be nice to people and make friends and realize that no one hates me. If I can do that, and if Joe can do that, and if my brother can do that, like, I know a lot of people who've been in that boat. Sparrow, trust me, it's not the reality. Like I said, we get things in our head that we think are real. We think that people don't like us. We think that we are unattractive. We think that we can't make friends. But the truth is, that's all a lie. It's not real. It's just something we said, something that we believed for no good reason. We have to challenge that belief. We have to go out there and be someone's friend. Because as soon as you go out there and you be someone's friend, you make a friend. Because people are attracted to that. People are like, I want to be around this guy. He's nice. He's on my side. I want to be on his side too. People will naturally flock to people who have uplifting attitudes. If you uplift people, people will naturally want to be around you all the time because they like to feel good. So I've talked for a while. Hopefully that gives you some information and some confidence and understanding. Like, seriously, Sparrow, you have everything it takes. So yeah, I'm gonna pass it back to Joe.
I just have a question.
Yeah.
So was I one of those people that you're like, that guy's stupid?
Me? Did I ever think you were stupid? No.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. No.
Not even the first time when I was there and I was like, I was teaching the stuff on the whiteboard with a marker and I was wearing a suit and everything. That's where I think that's the first time Ryan ever first saw me. I'm surprised you didn't say that guy's just stupid.
Well, I didn't. You want to know why?
Why?
Because the first time I saw you, you had already met Kyle, right?
Uh-huh.
And so I treated you like you were Kyle's friend, so therefore you weren't stupid.
Oh, gotcha. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
I was like, this guy's friends with Kyle. He's doing some business stuff. He's probably pretty smart. So
he's probably not stupid.
Mm-hmm. So you weren't stupid right off the bat.
He's got marker dust on his face. I don't know why.
Yeah. Wow. I don't think you did, but yeah, I'm sure you had marker dust on your fingers.
Yeah. Well, then you touch your face.
Oh, like, yeah. That's true.
So you get marker dust on your face. Yeah. No, that's awesome, Ryan. I love that Black Static story. I love that story about, treating people. I love how, you turned that situation around, because it was like you realized you could be whoever you wanted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just had to start acting like that person. And I realized that that was me anyways. It was like the whole time I was holding myself back. The whole time I was afraid of what people would think, right? I was afraid people would laugh at me instead of with me, right? People would call me dumb or whatever because everyone was against me. No one was on my side. And so no matter what I said, people would dislike me. But I just started doing it. I stopped holding myself back. And all of a sudden I found out a lot of people really liked me. But I had to be me for people to fall in love with me. I had to put myself out there in the world and allow people to see me in order for them to go, I like that person. Because before then, I was so reserved and so shy and so scared to show who I was that nobody knew me. Nobody, because I didn't let anybody know me. So I couldn't make friends because I was too afraid.
Yeah. It's an interesting conundrum we find ourselves in. And one thing that you touched on that I love is that, when you make somebody else feel good about themselves, then of course that's going to draw them to you. And that's one of the things we get kind of caught in this trap, and I was thinking about this while you were talking, because, we get caught in this thing where it's like, okay, I got to do something that's going to impress these people. I got to do something that's going to make them feel like I'm cool or something. I better do something clever, or I need to say something smart, or I need to say something, that's funny or whatever. And really, all we need to do is like what Ryan was saying. If we just be ourselves and lift others up, a couple amazing things happen that are really good. One, it's very endearing, and so you end up making friends. It's kind of automatic. They just automatically, if you can figure out how to, give people that food of self-confidence and building others up and treating them with respect and just uplifting them, they're going to want to be around you. And another thing that happens is you won't feel pressured to say something clever. Because it's not all about you then. And then it's all about them. Then your whole focus becomes, I'm gonna do whatever I can to make them look good or to make them feel good, to be nice to them. I'm going to do whatever I can to make their world better and brighter. And then you totally forget about all your stuff going on. And you don't have to think about what you're going to say next, because you're focused on them and you're taking cues from what's going on with them. And you're like, oh my gosh, their backpack's opening, while they're walking. I better go help them. Did you realize your backpack's just about to spill out all over the floor? Like, but if you take that time and you're really focused on others, then you're going to notice those things. You're going to notice things about them, and then you'll have an endless list of things to say.
Oh yeah.
Just an endless archive. It'll just always, you'll have something to say or mention or whatever. And as long as you keep that on the positive side and the uplifting side and the side of helping them feel better about themselves, man, you got a friend. And then once you build that relationship, once you've put enough deposits in the bank, then probably you can start to mention things like, hey, you know what, you got an eye booger, you need to fix that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll tell you, it's totally amazing, the shift that happens. The pressure comes off of you completely when you're focused on other people. And then when it's all about them and you find that joy in doing that, then your joy can be endless, because there's always something to be said nice about another person. You can always find something. It's awesome. So yeah.
Nice.
So anyway, that's what I got.
Yeah. So what do you think, Sparrow? You think does that make sense to you? You feel a little bit better about that? because that's what I'm hoping. I mean, I can't really teach you how to make friends. I think you've already got it all in you. I mean, you've been to our stream enough times to know. It doesn't matter what you look like. It matters what other people look like to you, or sorry, to themselves. What other people looks like to themselves. I mean, you know these things. I think you know how to make friends. I hope that was helpful, and hopefully you can move past the fear, because like I said, the only thing holding you back is the fear. You're afraid to do it because I know you've got everything inside of you to make plenty of friends. And it will be easy as long as you allow yourself to be out there. If you just be a friend, you're going to make a friend. Go up to a random person and be their friend. Be on their side. Point out the good stuff. And you got a friend. So, as easy as that. Making friends is pretty easy once you understand. So hopefully that helps. Yeah.
Yep. Well, and one thing, also be a little bit patient with yourself. It's not necessarily second nature for us to do this all the time. So
yep.
You just have to start doing it. You just have to start trying it. Start trying to focus on others and start focusing on their good points and start focusing on, bringing that to light. And, you'll mess it up here and there and it'll be okay. It's a journey. You take it one step at a time. You get better and you get better and you get better. And it's good. And Sakura says, also, if all else fails, you could ask someone how much a polar bear weighs. Yes, you totally can.
Enough to break the ice.
Yes.
Nice, Sakura.
That's good. That's good. And Sparrow, I also am addicted to gambling Potarts. I've never played Animal Crossing, so I don't know.
Yep. That's okay. Gambling and Potarts is fun. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, you have to go to the gaming streams, Twitch /BSS_streaming. And actually we'll be holding another session tomorrow. I think starting around 2:30 Eastern. And we'll be holding another gaming stream, and you can always join us and gamble away the Potarts.
Yes.
Get some Potarts and try to get the most. It's actually silly, but it's fun to I'm trying to get the Potarts. Oh, I lost them all. You gotta be kidding me. I quit. And then you come back the next day and you're like, okay, gonna get some more this time. This time I'm not gonna gamble them all away.
Yeah. Well, you get like 15 every few minutes, right?
Yeah.
Like there's something like that. So you kind of get this salary of like 15 Potarts every few minutes.
Every few minutes you get some Potarts and you're like, okay, sweet.
Yeah. So you check, you're like, okay, now I can gamble some, or you join a heist.
Yeah, you can join a heist.
Those are fun.
Ahoy! I'll read them out for you. They're fun. I like the heist. Those are actually my favorite part.
Well, yeah, you can get a lot more too. Like that's where you can really bank some Potarts.
Yeah, it's better chances of winning in heists. So yeah, I like the heist. They're fun. They're my favorite part because I just like reading them out loud.
Yeah.
I wish we could do one right now, but this is YouTube. So
yeah, we gotta do it on YouTube. That's all right.
Yeah,
that's all right.
So cool. All right, let's move on. Thank you, Sparrow. We love you. And if you're here tomorrow, see you tomorrow. But yeah, thank you so much for the question, and I really hope that helps. You have nothing to be afraid of. If you're wondering how to make friends right now, that was like the last thing you said right now. It feels impossible. Just join Discord servers. Find the right ones that have actually nice people in it. That's a good way. You can play games that are multiplayer. Be someone's friend, and you'll make a friend. No matter what game you play, there's people out there who are gonna be good. A lot of times we feel like no matter where I go, there's all these awful people. But every once in a while, you find a gem. All right, in any game, in any place, someone worth spending time with. So yeah. Right now, it's kind of like everything's online, but you can still make friends.
Yeah.
So anyways.
Yes, you can. So let's move on. All right. So Princess, you are up.
That's right.
Princess is our lovely chat room hostess.
Yes, she is.
She's amazing.
She's helping us out putting the comments in here. I wonder how well she'll be able to do that while we do hers, but I'm sure she'll do very well. If you drop your pace, Princess, don't worry about it, because this is directed at you, and if you had to pay attention to us instead of the chat, do not worry. Feel free to loosen on the chat end, and we will try to pick up for you. But yeah, this is from Princess. The title of it is Finding Peace, and it reads as follows. So much for a break. All I have now is more and more stuff in harder and harder ways, with more and more demands and more feelings, ever rising and rising. Every day, there's something new that's news as the world freaks out. But none of it is good or helpful. However, I don't get a choice in whether I get to experience it or not because I get slammed with it from school that's now all shoved online from my parents. And it's hard for me to find peace. It's so hard because it's constantly broken or shattered. The world seems to be drained of anything other than panic and politics. I can't relax or sleep I can't relax or sleep well at night. And during the day, I am always so keenly aware of every action I take in the house, for it could matter. I just can barely take this. I feel insanity and evil wanting to creep in and just mess with my thoughts. A feeling hysterical despite, feeling hysterical despite there not being a good reason for it all. I know it's something that will pass with time, and even though there isn't a visible end to the tunnel, I know it's there. I just can't bring myself into a good mood very easily, and it's hard enough not to just hide from everything. Do you have any advice on how to find peace even when you're trapped on an emotional roller coaster between distressed and hysterical? Well, besides just exercise, I have been swinging and singing on the park swing set every day for at least 30 to 45 minutes. And though that's a fair walk from her house to the park, as I would know. So that is included in the exercise. Anyways, yes, thank you so much, Princess. I understand what you're going through. I guess as a side note, one of the things that she's referencing here and didn't explain, just currently, because she's home now, she has to worry about people all the time and her own actions and how they might cause disruptions or that sort of thing. So, yeah. Anyways, yes, thank you, Princess. We love you, and thank you for this well written topic here, and hopefully we can do it justice. I know that that your emotions are very strong and powerful, so hopefully we can give you some guidance as to how to distance yourself from them or control them in such a manner, and find that peace that you're looking for as well. But without any further ado, Joe, take it away.
Yes. Thank you again, Princess. Thank you for the topic. Thank you for everything that you do here. Thank you for everything that you did in helping us get Double Cup of Joe set up. Thank you so much. I mean, Princess has done a lot.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes here, and she's amazing. So I just gotta shout out a big, huge thank you and digital virtual hug to you, Princess, because yeah, you've made things much easier for us in many ways. So thank you. And one of the things that you said here in your topic is one of the things that I repeat to myself over and over and over again. A lot of times when stuff's going on like this, when stuff is hard on so many levels. And that's that you said, I know it's something that will pass with time. And so I say to myself a lot, I say, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. This that's going on right now, it's going to be gone. It's going to be over. There's going to be a time when this is done. You know, I think about that when I'm with my kids. I think about the times when my kids are fighting and it's getting frustrating and they're like beating each other up, and like one of them, I can tell one of them's going to get hurt because now they understand combat, and so they're going to like hurt each other. Nice. And it's and then it happens, and then it's and I can feel myself being all stressed out. And you know what's crazy? I know that time is going to pass. And I know in a way I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss the rambunctious, you know, crazy competition that these two brothers have with each other. And, you know, the irrational arguing sometimes, you know, I mean, in a way, I'm going to miss it. I don't know if I miss changing diapers.
I've done it before too. Not really something you miss.
Yeah, well, it's okay. But yeah, these things that you're going through, they're gonna pass. It's gonna be over. And knowing where you are in your faith life, that can help a lot too. Prayer can help a lot. Reading, you know, I've read a lot of different religious books, and some of them bring me peace. You can read prayers, the one from St. Teresa of Avila that we've mentioned before on the stream. Let nothing disturb you, let nothing frighten you, that one. These things can really bring peace, and meditating on them can really bring some peace. So I mean, I don't know necessarily everything about your environment, but I remember getting some advice from a priest one time. And we were talking about praying, we were talking about different things, because sometimes it really, really helps to set up a little mini environment for your prayer time. Something as simple as lighting a candle, or even just an electric candle, switching on an electric candle in your presence and setting it there changes where you're sitting enough to help you go a little deeper into your meditation and into your prayer. And little things like that have worked. One of the reasons why I really enjoy my rosary beads isn't necessarily because I'm praying the rosary while I hold on to them, but holding on to them just kind of puts me in a little bit deeper of a meditative state, just because I have them in my hands and I'm playing with them, you know, and I can look at the crucifix on there, and I can, you know, whatever, you know, the particular one I'm talking about is really, really simple. It's just a wood, everything's wood. There's just beads and a crucifix on
and a wooden string.
Yep, the wooden string. Nice. There's no metals. There's no, you know, there's no stuff like that. It's very, very simple and basic. But holding on to it just kind of it helps to deeply meditate. Another thing you can do, these so I'm gonna give you some practical things before I turn it over to Ryan. But another thing that I've done is kind of try to do some relaxation, where I'll lay down and I'll take some deep breaths. Or maybe I'll sit down in a chair where I can lean back and just completely relax, right? And just where I don't have to be holding anything up. And then I will imagine my feet and my hands are made of cement. And then I can't even lift them. because they're so heavy. I imagine that. And then I imagine that traveling up my arms and my legs, that feeling of heaviness, and I can't move them. And with each breath, I'm focused on my breathing. I'm focused on breathing relaxed, inhaling and exhaling. I'm thinking about inhaling positive energy and exhaling pain and negative. I'm inhaling peace and I'm exhaling pain. I'm exhaling all the wrong, the stress. With every breath, it's leaving me. And every breath that I inhale, I'm inhaling peace. And in the meantime, the cement feeling sensation of heaviness is traveling up my arms and my legs and then takes over the rest of my body. And then I'm just there, completely relaxed, not moving. And I'll close my eyes and I'll think of places that I really, really enjoy being. Specifically, lately, places that Ryan and I went when we did all of our video shooting. There were some gloriously beautiful places that we went. And if you watch the video Sail On, you'll see them. Mm-hmm. Because that's, that footage, all the footage on that video came from that, except for the rainy ones, because it didn't rain.
That's right.
The rainy ones I had to do on a different day. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's something that I've done so many times when I feel stressed, because especially right now when there's nothing you can do about it, so many of these things, I mean, it's outside of our control. We were talking about that a little bit earlier, about, there's our circle of influence and our circle of concern. We kind of have these two circles in our lives. And our circle of concern is all the things that we're concerned about, that we think about, that kind of bother us, that we wish were different in the world. And a lot of us have a lot of different concerns. And then there's our circle of influence. And that circle is the one that includes all the things that we can actually do something about. And when those circles are separate and our concerns don't match things that we can do something about, our stress levels go up and up and up and up and up, and we have a harder time finding peace. But when those two circles overlap, and what our concerns are things that we actually have some say in what we can, like we can do something about it, then we realize, oh, then I'll just start working on that, tomorrow or in an hour or right now or whatever. So those are the things. A lot of times I've had to analyze my circle of concern. I've had to think about, okay, what are these things that I'm so worried about or that I'm concerned with? These things that are taking up a lot of big portion in my brain. What are these things? And then I'll run them through that test. Can I do something about this? And a lot of times the answer is no. And then I've found, oh, that's why I'm so stressed. I can't do anything about that. So you know what? I'm not going to let it concern me. And that can be hard. And it's a discipline to do that. But that's when those times of meditation where I'm letting go, when I'm breathing out, that's another thing I'm visualizing. I'm breathing out those things I'm concerned about that I have no control over, and I'm just getting rid of them. They're going away. They're going away. They're going away. And then when you can line up that circle of concern and that circle of influence, and get to the point where you actually have some control over the things that are taking up your mental capacity, now you feel empowered. You don't feel stressed. You don't feel helpless. You don't feel all out of sorts. And then you can do something. And then when you start doing stuff, when you start moving in that direction, it feels really good. Because you're like, I'm taking care of this stuff. These things that are concerns of mine, they're not going to be concerns of mine for long because I'm taking care of them. I'm doing something about it. And the more progress you make, the more exciting it becomes. And so those are just a few things. Those are some things to think about and maybe consider doing. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Ryan. So Ryan, take it away.
Thanks, Joe. I really like what you said about how you enter into your meditation. Because here's the thing, Princess, your personality is different than mine. You see, I live my life and my emotions, and I dictate that. Like, if you were to ask me, how am I doing? I decide how I'm doing based on my brain and how I want to feel and what control I have over it. You, on the other hand, are not living your life inside your head. You live your life based on what goes on around you. So if something goes on around you, it dictates how you feel. If something goes on around me, it doesn't change how I feel. And if it does, I go, well, that's weird. Let me fix that. And then I fix my attitude. So with me, right, if I get into a situation where something is stressful, something's not right, something's not lining up, I have too much on my plate or whatever, right? All sorts of different things. It could be I'm being asked to do a bunch of physical things and I hate doing physical things of that nature, right? Like I'm moving objects around the house, lifting up and moving boxes and stuff like that, which aren't even mine. It's just annoying. And at the same time, I have to worry about my other projects and all stuff like, right? All this stuff piles on, becomes stressful. I have to worry about the people around me. Maybe some of them have like a bad attitude, right? All these things, right? All of that could be going on, right? But if I notice my attitude isn't on point, if I'm like, oh, I hate doing these stupid things. I don't like moving around boxes and stuff. That's stupid. I go, wait, Ryan, some people like to move things around. Like some people like that physical exercise. So it's not a matter of reality. It's a matter of how I'm interpreting it. It's a matter of my attitude. So let's just fix it. And then I go, you know what? I can enjoy myself in this environment. I put a smile on my face and I go on. I go, okay, no, we're going to do this. There's no reason to stress out. There's no reason to be upset. So, I'm not in the wrong place at the wrong time. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I've got no sin on my soul for this. So let's just carry on and be great. Let's have a great attitude. And then I continue forward, right? So that's how I handle it. Because I live my life and how I feel in my head. I don't allow what's going on around me to decide for me how my day is. I don't allow the world to determine how I'm supposed to feel. I decide that for myself. And if I'm doing something I don't enjoy, I get to pick at that moment when I realize I get to pick if I want to have a bad attitude or not. I get to pick, you know what? Even though I don't like it, I'm going to smile about it anyways. I'm just going to get through it because there's no sense in having a bad attitude about it. Or you know what? I'm going to take the time right now to convince myself that this isn't so bad. I can like this. I was tasked with tearing apart the building that was going to be my studio. I don't like doing any of that kind of stuff. But you know what? When I was doing it, I entered in and I'm like, you know what? I know I don't like this kind of stuff. So here's my chance to change how I feel about it. I'm going to go in with a good attitude and start working on it and just enjoy it. And you know what I found? I found myself enjoying it. Believe it or not, it was tiring all the heck. I was so worn out with all the work I was doing, pulling and sledging things and, moving all sorts of different stuff, pulling up carpet and, cleaning stuff and all sorts of different stuff, right? But I decided that, you know what? I'm going to enjoy doing this. This is great. This is going to be nice. This is going to be peaceful. So I'm doing this physical stuff, right? But I decided I wanted to be at peace. So I did it, trying to be in the right frame of mind, and it was in the right frame of mind, right? That's how I do things, right? Now, depending on your personality, you have natural talents and natural things you're bad at. But the beautiful thing is, no matter what personality you are, you can pick up the habits of other personalities. I'm not a very outgoing person. I tend to be very reserved. But here I am on Don't Worry Wednesday in front of, possibly what could be thousands of people. Obviously, we only got a few people in the chat, but I put my stuff out on YouTube and I entertain people by the masses, right? I've done streams with 700 people. And that's probably the most I've had. Somewhere around there. And I'm supposed to be like this super reserved guy, right? But I'm not. I go up to people and I make conversation. I put myself out there for the sake of other people, or even tasks. If you were to think of my personality, you'd be like, okay, he's the kind of guy that goes into work and he's super slow. He just does everything slow. He's really nice, but he's not like super hardcore. But that is the opposite. When I go to work, like when I was working at Taco Bell, when I was working in the bakery, when I was doing inspections, when I was building cabinets, any job I've ever had, I go ultra hard mode. I work at everything super fast, as fast as I can, but doing a really good job. I run. I don't walk to my next destination. I walk really fast, or I literally run. Yeah, I know the ditches are only 15 meters away, but I will run there. And when I get there, I will grab onto the handle, slide in, and then just start doing the dishes. No hesitation. And that's the way that's because I saw other people doing that, especially my brother. And I was like, that's what I want to emulate. I want to be the hard worker like that. Mm-hmm. Why? Because it feels good. Mm-hmm. It feels good to be that hard worker, because at the end of the day, oh, you did your job and you did it well, right? You put everything into it and it came out. And you know what? It didn't matter whether you put everything in or not. You wouldn't have been fired either way, because you work with other people that are 10 times slower than they should be, and they're still hired. Mm-hmm. But you know what? There's no regrets there. You feel good. You feel good about it. You're a hard worker, right? These are things that I learned from other personalities. And that's not my personality. So even though I know that you experience emotions from the outside world and you let that affect you, right? I think you have to discover the ability you have to tell yourself that doesn't have to be the way it is. You don't have to allow the world to tell you how you're feeling. You don't have to let the pressure of the world make you feel pressured. Because whether they're there or not, right? Whether they're putting the pressure on you, and you feel pressured or not, the pressure's there, right? So rather, you've got all these tasks, and whether you feel stressed about it or you feel at peace, the tasks are there, right? So you just ask yourself, well, then I'd rather just feel peaceful. Let's just be peaceful then. How do you get there? 1, self-talk. And if self-talk isn't enough, do what Joe just recommended. Why? Because then you're actually implying you're adding to your ability by practicing physical activities. So it's not, exercise is good, right? Exercise is good. What Joe was talking about is meditation to incur that self strength, that emotional strength. So you get into meditation, right? And that's a physical thing. You're actually laying down, and then you're imagining your body becoming really heavy. You're imagining bricks blocks of concrete around your hand, being like, oh man, now I can't lift my hand up. Now it's on my arm. You know,
Mhm.
you're being very visual about it, and you're allowing that to affect how you feel, right?
Mhm.
So that's a good practice. Um, you know, some people they do heavy breathing, or some people, you know what, some people do yoga, some people do Tai Chi, some people do Taekwondo, some people do karate, some people do all sorts of different stuff, right? They're physical things to help you get into the right mental atmosphere, right? So all these things. So if you feel like you can't control your brain enough to just be at peace when the stress is high, you know, a lot of times for me, I'm like, oh, the stress is high. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to combat that. I'm going to be the guy that's at peace
Mm.
because I put myself in a position where like, that's a challenge. And I'm going to show that challenge what's up. I'm going to be awesome. Watch, check this out. Totally calm, totally cool. Now let's go. Right? That's me. That's my attitude. That's how I manage it. But if you can't find the ability to do that, then start by smiling. Start by putting a physical thing out into the world and then allowing that physical thing to affect you, who you are. I know you have things like stuffed animals, right? The stuffed animals give you a certain feeling, right? It's a physical object from the outside world that affects your brain. So start with your attitude, but start with your physical attitude. So present yourself physically like things are okay. Act calm, act collected, act at peace, smile in the during the stress, smile at the stress. And I think that that goes a long way.
Mhm.
Um those are some of my I don't mean to be hard on you. I know it's a really difficult thing. Um and I understand it's something that you go through, and it's been something you know you have to experience, something you have to deal with, something you have to learn to get better at. And I think
Mhm.
that you have everything it takes to do that. Um I know you do. It's just a matter of time, and it's a matter of practice, right? Just like anything. It's just a matter of practice. The more you
Mhm.
practice it, the better you get. But you can't practice it if it's not there. What I mean is, you can't practice this trait unless there's stress. So
Mm.
when there is stress, that's the moment not to give up. That's the moment to press on, because that's when you're being presented with the opportunity to get better at this,
Mhm.
um, which is great. So when you feel that stress coming on, just be like, okay, here we go. Here's an opportunity. I need to take it and make the best I can of it. Um, One thing Joe was pointing at, alleviating at, um, is this. If you want to feel at peace, peace a lot of times is understanding that it's not just understanding everything's okay, right? It's also understanding you're in the right spot at the right time.
Mm.
You are where you need to be. There's nothing wrong with what you're doing or where you're at, right? A lot of times we feel peace. Like if we go to church and we do adoration, we feel at peace, right? Or if we're working on a project and there's nothing going on and we don't have any other obligations, and we're just like, yeah, I'm just drawing I'm just coloring in a color book because I've got nothing else to do. So I'm at peace, right? I'm just coloring in a color book. It's easy, right? Because you're not doing anything wrong. Everything's fine. There's no stress. How do you get there when there is stress? And I think that that's easy when you look at your life in the grand scheme. If you look at your life in the moment, it becomes very difficult because you're
Mhm.
worried about everything that's going on around you.
Yes.
You have to take that moment and see outside yourself in that moment and see yourself in the big picture and go, okay, where am I in standing with God right now? Okay, that's in check. Or, okay, it's out of check. Let's make it in check. Okay. Now I'm doing the right things. Now I'm not doing those bad things, right? Right now, at least, right? So it's okay if that's the issue. But a lot of times it's not going to be, because I know that you're a good girl. You're a good girl. You're not doing terrible things to people, right? Or to yourself. So um take a bigger picture of yourself. Look at yourself not in that moment with all those constraints, with all the stress, with all the different obligations or how people see you. Instead, look at yourself from a bigger picture and say, where am I in standing with God? Where am I in standing with my future? Where am I? Which is going to be okay, no matter whether you fail something or you succeed. I'm going to be okay as a human being. And you take yourself, you'll look at yourself in a big picture and you say, okay, I've got all of these tasks. Yeah. I have to figure out how to do them. Yeah. And I'm going to. Okay. There we go. That's all you need to do. Look at yourself in the big picture and you say, okay, so I've got all these tasks. Yep. And some of them I'm going to do, some of them I won't, maybe. Life's going to continue on. The most important things, am I being holy? Check. There's nothing else. That's it. That's it. It's literally it. If you've got that, that's it. That's all that matters. Everything else, like all this stress, like, oh, maybe there's people that are like being mean to me, or maybe I'm worried about how people see me in my environment. Maybe I'm bothering them, or maybe I'm not good enough at all these things that have been pushed on me with this school. Maybe I'm not good at concentrating at what they're telling me because it's online and it's hard. It's a lot easier in class in person, which is totally that's the way I am. You could worry about all of that, but then you look at the big picture and you're like, yeah, but one day I'm going to die. What am I being holy? Am I, or am I being evil? If I'm not being evil, then I'm being holy. It's black and white. It really is. There's no, oh, you're being holy and evil at the same time with that. That's not even a thing. So because you're a religious person, I know, Princess. Otherwise, I wouldn't say that to a lot of other people, but that's all that matters. It's like, that's literally all that matters. So if you got that, then just be like, okay, there's no reason to worry about all this other stuff. It's trivial. It's pointless to worry about. Because in the end, I die. And then I go somewhere else. And then I live for eternity. What I do here matters. Right? But the only part of that matters is the holy part. And if I'm being a gift to the world, right? If I can live my life as a gift, if I can do the things I was put on earth to do, then there's no reason to be stressed about that, because you know that it all works out in the end. It's all in good favor. It's all in good time. It all makes good stuff happen. The worry comes from when we're worried about something bad happening. Mm-hmm. Right? If you're stressed, it's because you think something bad is happening. But there's no worry. There's no need to think that anything's bad happening. So anyways, I don't really know what else to say, but hopefully some of that has helped you. I know that like ultimately, if I just look at the ultimate reality, a lot of times that helps for me, because I can just like take a back off and be like, yeah, but like, does that really matter for me to stress out about that? No, it doesn't. So I'm just not going to be. Anyways, that's but yeah, hopefully this moves on for you. I know that it's something that you have to deal with on a daily basis, but remember that every time this is what you're dealing with, the whole point of it is that it's an opportunity for you to get better. It's an opportunity to find peace in the madness, right? That's what life, a lot of times that's what life is. It's about finding peace in the madness. It's about finding gold in the rock, right? We all have to dig through a bunch of rock to find the gold, to find the value.
Yep. And it takes time.
Right? So finding the peace in the stress and the madness, finding the golden nugget in the rock, or the diamond, if you want to be Minecraft, finding the diamond in the rough, in the rock, right? You have to
you always got to go down where it's dangerous, where the lava is.
Yeah,
You
you
find
gotta
the
go.
diamonds in Minecraft. You always got to
Yeah,
go
and
down
it's
to like,
dark and random things spawn in on you,
it
right?
is, yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's where it's dangerous.
Yep.
That's
You
what the
mine
whole.
down through, and then they fall in the lava, and then you go, man,
Hmm.
but
And
that's where
so,
they are.
yeah, it's always important to remember, like, whenever you're going through any struggle, first thing you need to think about is this struggle is here for a reason, and it's here for a good reason. It's here to make me a stronger person. It is a rock. It is an ore with metal, with beautiful precious metals inside of it. And all I have to do is tinker away, scrape away the dust and the rock that is around my heart or is in my mind or is wrong with me or whatever, and or the things I have yet to learn, get the right tools for the job. How do I get the nugget out of this rock? And then you have something that you can carry on with you, which is helpful for the rest of your life, right? And helps other people in the world too. So that's what you should always think about whenever you experience problems, whenever you're experiencing stress, whenever you're experiencing pain, whenever you're experiencing something you don't like. The first thing you should always think is, it's here for a good reason.
Hmm.
I just got to figure it out.
Hmm.
And that should hopefully remind you to find that peace in the madness, because I know it does for me. When I realize, you know what, this is all for my benefit, even though it's hard, it's a lot easier to be like at peace because I know it's all for good.
Hmm.
I have nothing to worry about. I have nothing to fear. To worry is to have fear that your life is in the wrong hands.
Hmm.
But if you're like, to have fear is to worry that God's hands are not good for you, that they're not trying to foster you. You know, that's the opposite of truth, right? Um, you have nothing to fear. You have nothing to worry about. You're in good hands.
Yep.
Even if things feel stressful, you're in good
Yep.
hands.
And even if you are doing things wrong, I noticed in your
Oh yeah.
chat a little bit. I scrolled up a little bit and I saw that you said it's hard to relax. Though I feel scared that I can't feel I can let my guard down. When I first go outside and start exercising, I was so scared because it felt so wrong. Like everything I do could be wrong, wrong, wrong. And I guarantee you're doing things wrong.
Hmm.
I'm doing things wrong.
Me
There's
too.
something about everything that I'm doing that's wrong, and I'm just gonna try to, you know, learn. I'll try to learn to do it better so it's not so wrong. But it's okay. It's not like it's gonna affect, it's not gonna be that big of a deal over time. And when I learned that it's okay to do things wrong for a while you're learning, because that all of us are like that.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. That's how you learn.
Hmm.
That's how you learn anything. You do it wrong.
Yep. One thing I respect about my fifth grade, my son's in fifth grade, and one thing I respect so much about his teacher was he was like, don't correct their homework.
Hmm.
I mean, you can sit there and do it with them and help them talk it out and everything like that, whatever. But, it's not about them getting all the answers right. I want to know where they're at. And the
Hmm.
only way we know that is if they're getting stuff wrong. And I'm not going to penalize them for being wrong. And I was like, good, thank you. Like, so they're not getting a penalty for being wrong. He's starting to understand. He started to teach that it's okay to be wrong. That's how we know where you're at. That's how we know how to fix things.
Hmm.
And that's really the only feedback you get in the world. So you, Princess, you're in higher education now. So you've had years and years and years of people telling you it's wrong to be wrong. But it's not. It's right to be wrong. Because that's the only way you're going to learn how to be right, is when you're
Right.
wrong and you figure it out. So it's okay.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's really important. So whenever you feel like that, you're like, it's wrong, it's wrong. I don't know if it's wrong. I want to be right." You need to just be like, "You know what? Here's the thing. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay because one, if your intentions are in the right place, then you can't be wrong. You can only be not well learned."
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can't, like, you could do something and it wasn't like what other people wanted. That's okay. Who cares? Like like seriously? That's like I tried to do what you asked me to do and I did it like a different way than you expected. And you're
Mhm.
mad at me? Wow. Cool. All right. Like, okay. That's done with. You can ask, "Oh, how would you like me to do that instead?" That's about all I can do. Because you know what? Doesn't change where my heart was. I was trying to help you out, right? It doesn't matter if I was wrong. If I did it wrong according to you, right? So, I think it's important to, yeah, remember that it's okay. It's okay to fail.
Mhm.
It's okay to fail. If
Mhm.
you fail a class, God doesn't hate you. If you fail a class, it's okay. You just get back up on your feet. If you take a step and you slip and you fall down on your butt, it's like, you know what? I can still stand back up. So it doesn't really matter.
Mhm.
You know? If you slip and you break your leg and you're like, I can't get up. Well, that's okay too. Life goes on and you can still do incredible things and you don't need those legs because clearly you don't need them. If you're still alive, you don't need them because you're still here. You're not useless, right? It's okay to mess up. It's okay to lose things. It's okay to fail. It's okay because you are where you are. And that's good
Mhm.
because you are here to do good and you can do good no matter where you are.
Mhm.
You simply are wherever you are and you do good there. And you don't worry about if you make a mistake or you mess up and it pulls you back or it makes you feel like you didn't excel as fast as you were supposed to. It doesn't matter. You can still do good from where you're at. So don't worry if you're ever wrong or you make a mistake or you mess up or you didn't do good enough job as you wanted to or anything like that. Anyways,
Yes.
um,
Thank you, Princess.
thank you, Princess. You are a beautiful person. And it's time to move on. Jono, I promised you we would do yours. And so I'm sorry to make you wait half an hour before we get to it. But here we are. We will do it.
We're here.
Yes. Uh, sorry if we spent a little too much time on that, but let's move on. It's a
It
big one
wasn't too
because
much time.
all right, good.
It was just the
It
right
was
amount.
just the right amount of time. All right, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. I agree. I
Remember,
agree.
you take your own advice, Ryan. Come on.
I said it's okay to be wrong. Remember? I said it's okay to be wrong.
Yeah.
The truth is, I'm wrong all the time. And every time I'm wrong, it's like, okay, cool. I learned something. Or, wow, I'm humbled. It's like other people were right and I was wrong. That's okay. Like, it's all good. There's no shame in being wrong, really.
That's right.
The only
That's
shame there
right.
is in being wrong is the shame that you develop out of nothingness. You're like, it's not even doesn't even need to be there. You're just
Mhm.
making it happen because you don't like it, but that's pride,
Right.
you know? Yeah, don't be afraid of being wrong, guys. Sometimes you're just gonna be wrong. You just gotta ask the right questions and figure it out and doesn't
And
matter.
sometimes it's fun if you can learn to laugh at yourself.
Oh
You can make a big
yeah,
joke
for
out of it, and
sure, for
it's great.
sure. Yeah. Sometimes that joke will last for years and you'll not actually be upset at yourself at all. You're like, that's so hilarious. I can't believe that happened. I love it.
Uh-huh.
It's so good that I did that. It's like
Yeah.
raisins, man. Like raisins come from dried up fruit. Like it was an accident.
Right.
Anyways, so
So we're doing Jonos?
Jono, what's up, man?
Monker
Uh,
Star?
known as Monkerstar on the forums and in Discord. This one's from him. It is titled "Student Life in Light of Coronavirus." So here we are again, back on topic of coronavirus, like we have been for most of the stream, which is good. It's great that we get to talk to you guys about it and share our perspectives and stuff. So, um, let's get into it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Awesome.
Are you ready?
I will try to be.
I'm
I'm
ready.
ready.
Fire. Aim.
I'm ready. Let's go. Let's go, guys. Do it.
Hey.
Yeah. All right. Did you do it? No. Okay. Anyways, it reads as follows. I was hoping everyone would read it for me, but apparently,
Oh, you want me to
no
read
one
it
wanted to
for you?
step
I'll
up.
read it. I'll read
No,
it.
I'll do it. I'll do it. It reads as follows. I'm sure that everyone is suffering from this in some way, shape, or form. So hopefully everyone can take something from this. I am in my final year of school, and I was going to take my finals in a few months in order to get into university. Obviously, exams have been canceled, and students in England are being awarded qualifications by their teachers based on what they think we could achieve. But I am in a very fortunate position to have unconditional offers from universities. So essentially, I don't have any worries about my grades at all. That being said, I am from a very hard working family, and I try to be as hard a worker as I can be. I have spent a lot of time studying for my upcoming finals, and I have become extremely invested in the course materials and various different parts of school. While many young people rejoice the lack of pressure over the rest of the upcoming academic year, I am becoming increasingly uneasy. As my finals have been canceled and I'm going to university next year, I don't really have to do anything until then, which means basically I have free time for 6 months.
Mm.
Clearly, this has its bright sides, and there are an enormous number of things I want to get done and skills I want to develop, and I will need to work hard to keep my productivity up during this period and not let it go to waste, because it's honestly a one in a lifetime opportunity of this scale. However, I need closure for my schoolwork. What I mean is, I've spent so much time and work and tears striving towards an A in maths and through thoroughly learning the syllables, an A in music. Wait, I might have missed something.
Syllabus.
Syllabus. That was, thank you. I was like, math doesn't have syllables. That's syllabus. Thank you. An A in music by studying all 49 set works, etc., that it feels completely wrong to stop now. I can't let everything I've learned just fade away in the back of my head, but there's no point to even looking at it now. It's all left unfinished, like a masterpiece I worked on for 2 years, then had to abandon without even wanting to. It feels completely surreal, like it's all part of a big dream. And I'll wake up and go back to school again. It keeps occurring to me, one by one, that I've had my last of everything at school. Last spontaneous meeting in a drama studio, or in the drama studio with the whole school drama department to mess around at lunchtime. Last assembly where all sarcastic, uh, sorry, last assembly where all sarcastic about because, okay, got it. The last assembly we were all sarcastic about because none of the students care about them. Last time pulling my hair out in the library when I can't wrap my head around something for hours on end. Last time acting more friendly with the teachers than I should get away with as a student. Last time playing the grand piano in the main hall during free periods when it's empty. Last time singing in the school choir, trying to sing the soprano part with the other tenors and laughing about menial things like a piece of sweet corn on the floor. Last time seeing my friends. The school just started a boxing club and I only attended one session. It really scares me because I haven't even missed a single day of school yet because of it. This coming Monday will be the first big chance in ROTA for me, and my body clock is already confused. I have put more time into my creative hobbies over the week, and I'm already mentally exhausted. Yet I'm painfully aware of not studying my school syllabus. It's just gone. There's a massive, enormous gap in my life left from my 14 years of school education brought to an ultimate end. I'm freaking out. I'm confused and scared and anxious. I'm slightly angry, but more so sad. I don't know how to cope with leaving it all unfinished. I got
Mhm.
emotional typing this out. Thanks. Thank you, Jono, for posting this. I think that there's a lot of people going through this or going through different versions or variations of this right now. As you saw, my Gary has posted in this for you. It looks like you already replied, so that's great. For anyone who wants to read their reply, I'm sure it's very thoughtful and wise. So have a check it out. But yeah, MarkerStar, this is great. It's kind of interesting. You know, regardless of whether it got canceled or not, school ends. And actually, a lot of people end up feeling this way anyways.
Mm.
Even though they completed school, they got their degree. It's kind of like, well, what? It just ended. What now? Like everything's supposed to feel different, but at the same time, it doesn't, and it's
Mhm.
all really weird. And it also kind of feels like, why did I do all of that? Like
Mhm.
that's not even helping me in anything. Why did I just do all of that? That was so many years. I get it. And I have a couple of things to say about this. It's not all for loss. Um, um, but yeah, I'm gonna let it go on to Joe's palette as he tries to explain and help you in this journey.
Mhm. Yeah, I totally understand this feeling. It's not easy. Um, to work really, really hard on something and to have it stop so close to completion. If that's something that bothers you enough, then one thing that's possible, maybe you could do, is you could take a look at your syllabus, you could take a look at what you were supposed to study, and finish the year out on your own, if you really want to. Or you can do your best to just kind of, muscle through. That's that's one thing you possibly can do if you feel like it would help you bring some closure. You can do that. There's so many things though with this. It's not just the schoolwork though. Like you are so great at, you related so well. It's the last time in the drama department to mess around at lunchtime. It's the last time for all these things, and you didn't even know it was going to be the last time.
Right.
And you had all these things that were happening. The boxing club that you only got to do one class. All these things that were like, wow. And now it's just over. It's so weird. And it can feel surreal. I remember when I got done with high school, it felt surreal. Even when I went through the graduation ceremony and all that kind of stuff and everything, it's still just, it was surreal. It felt really weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like the sun looked different. The grass looked different. The whole world outside looked different. I was like, I don't have this feeling of school anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to college in the fall, but I got all summer. You have 6 months instead of just 3. Which, yeah, I do like
It's
what you
half a
said.
year. Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy. And you don't have to worry about it. And I appreciate that you put on here that clearly this has its bright sides. And there's an enormous number of things that you want to get done and the skills to develop and to work hard to keep your productivity up. And it's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
We are in a once in a lifetime opportunity right now. This crazy situation around the world
Yeah, it's never
has
been like this before. With
it's
the internet,
provided us it's provided us an opportunity to do some great stuff digitally because we can communicate. We can still be in communication with others. We can still be Like if I remember correctly, you're a musician, right, John?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Obviously, yep, singer, and I think I think I've heard some stuff of yours.
He's really good. He's actually
Yeah,
really good, guys. Like, I'm
yeah.
not just saying that to yeah, he's actually really good.
So this is time. I mean, like, you're absolutely right. This is a great time to do some really great stuff musically, and to get it out there, and to experience, and to learn some things about promotion, and to learn some things about production, and to learn some stuff. It is a great time. Yes, that's right. Yep, you posted on the BSS site. Yes, that's right. I did hear it. Um, but anyway, um, as far as getting closure from school and all that, at some point when things end, there is a time of mourning. I mean, that's just the way that it has been for people. I remember one time, oh geez, Ryan and I have worked on projects together where we've you work so hard on something and then it gets cut from the project, or a bunch of the stuff you did gets cut from the project. There was a album, that the second album Ryan and I worked on together, and we also incorporated working on stuff with Steve Nichols, another guy that's on staff. And I remember him and I a lot, Steve and me also. There were some songs that we spent hours and hours and hours and hours and hours on mixing and mastering, and then something happened and we ended up using the original one that we didn't do anything to. The original version of this song. So we spent hours and like days worth of hours in production on this stuff, and then scrapped all of it.
Mm-hmm.
It was a tremendous education. I've done that, I've done that to Steve a few times where, he if you guys can go and hear the song Grow, right? The lead guitar on that song is Steve, the bass guitar on that song is Steve. There's a lot that's Steve. There's some rhythm guitar on there that's Steve. So because he's a tremendous musician too.
Mm-hmm.
And but there's a lot of stuff on there that got cut. There's a lot of great stuff in that song. I mean, he is tremendous, and he had solos and all that kind of stuff, and he just rocked. And then they got cut, and I'm the one who cut them. And I think he was a little bit mad at me at the time, but because we had some conversations about that. It's like, man, I was really proud of that part. And I'm like, I know, I love that part too. But we had to, these decisions. I mean, I ended up cutting a lot of my stuff out of that too. I mean, it was all about making room for the vocal parts. And so there was stuff we had to get rid of because it was competing. And, those are decisions. They're tough to make, especially when you work so hard. And it can feel similar to this type of situation where you invest so much into something. You invest a lot of your life into the pursuit of something. And then all of a sudden, it's like it didn't even exist. It's like it didn't matter. You worked so hard for nothing, it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
But really, was it for nothing? Because maybe what you were doing was you were proving that you can work hard. You were proving to yourself that you can work hard. Maybe it's a lesson in not taking what you're doing too seriously. I know that was the case for me. I had to be like, you know what? I'm going to work really hard on this, and maybe it's just going to get cut. So then I have a decision to make. Do I just stop? Do I stop working hard and trying my best at stuff? No, absolutely not. I'm still going to try my best. I'm still going to do whatever. And if it gets cut, well, I guess, oh well. I've had that experience before. You know, now that I've had it a few times in a few different projects in a few different areas, it's like, you know what? Two things I know for sure. One, I'm going to work my butt off. I'm going to do the best I possibly can. And two, the results are not up to me. In a lot of cases. That was so helpful to go through those projects and to have them get cut. One of the things that helped me put into perspective was the fact that I'm going to work hard. I'm going to put some music out there, and there's going to be a lot of people who don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
It helped me wrap my head around that fact rather than having all hurt feelings when somebody didn't like my stuff. It helped me to not care. Helped me to realize, you know what, I'm going to just put my best out there. I'm going to put my best effort out there anyway, regardless. I'm going to do my best. And if it all goes away, if you know, I release a video and like 3 people watch it and I get 2 thumbs downs and no thumbs up. Oh well. I did it. It was still worth it. You know, I worked hard. I did my best. Whatever. Because once it's out there and there's nothing really I can do. I mean, I can try and draw attention to it. I can try and promote. I can try and put links. I can put it on Facebook that I released something. I can do all kinds of things to try and get people there, but I can't tell them whether to like it or not. That's not up to me. So experiences like you're having right now, where you kind of feel like things get torn away from you, you may have just gotten one of the greatest exercises for your future as a musician. And learning what some of these things can feel like. And then when you experience it again in a different context, it's not a big deal anymore. And you can easily pick yourself back up and do the next project. You can easily just set it all aside and be like, all right, that's over with. I'm moving on to the next chapter. And that's what's really happening right here. You know, you get to move on to the next chapter of your life. You get to do it now. You get to have kind of an interim chapter, which is kind of fun. You're gonna, like you said, man, I love that you said that there's bright sides to this. I'm glad you realize that. As hard as it is to deal with, as hard as the problem is and the struggle, you still realize there's a bright side. I love that. And I tell you what, the more you do things to cultivate the bright side of things and do the things that you want to do, the things that are the once in a lifetime, the things that you want to get good at and do and all that, the more you do it, the quieter the darkness becomes. All the darkness surrounding the situation. The more you focus on the bright and put effort into the bright and do those things, the dark parts are just going to fade away. They're going to fade and fade. Now they'll fade slowly. I'm not going to say there's not going to be pain involved. Because yeah, it hurts. And it can really stink. But those are times you can also learn forgiveness. You can forgive the world for being crummy sometimes. And realize, yes, this hurts. Experience the pain, understand, and feel it. And then maybe you can grab that pain and you can use it to create a beautiful piece of music that flows out of that pain. I've said it on here before. That's when I write some of the best music I've ever written, is when I'm going through extreme emotional pain. And you can do that here with this experience as well. You can use it and create something beautiful. And I can't wait to hear it. So that's what I have. I'm going to turn it over to Ryan because Ryan's amazing. And he should go there.
No, you're amazing. Well, we're both amazing, but I get my amazingness from you through the gene pool that we don't share. So yeah, Jono, yeah. I think Joe said a lot of really good things here. And you could definitely go back and listen to it. It's kind of interesting. I've definitely experienced the same stuff. Like there are so many things that I've done that have been thrown away. I worked hard on, and then I just scrap it. You know, um, I scrap it myself, or someone else scraps it. Someone else uses it differently than what I would expect, or just doesn't use it at all.
They put the wrong track number on it.
Yeah, my goodness. Every one of them. No, every one of those 16 songs we put in there. Okay. I mean, I've literally worked on an entire album that's never released. Pretty much. Joe and I have actually together.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We had days worth of conversations that are still just.
Yep.
Every intention on releasing them. Nope.
Yeah. There's so much. And I'm grateful for all of it. Grateful for all of it. It's all great because every one of those things, I mean, it's an experience. It's a learning experience. I take it with me. And some of that stuff, it's cool because I get to use it later. And it's like cheating. Because if I write a song, right, and I end up like, oh, this gets thrown to the side, they don't want it. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. I keep it in my repertoire, right? And like 4 years later, someone wants something, or I want something from like a project. And I'm like, wait a minute, I got this piece sitting here. Let's open this up. Does this fit? Yeah, it does. It just kind of fits. I can kind of work with it a little bit, mess around with it, manipulate it a little bit. And now we got a song. I barely had to work on it at all. It's like cheating. Why? Because I put in the effort like 4 years ago. And that's kind of how it's going to be for school too, right? Everything you worked hard at, and all of a sudden it's like it doesn't have closure. You've like pretty much almost finished out the year, but now it ended. You've got all this knowledge. Like, what do I do with it now? Like, I learned all these maths, as you call it. We say math here, but you guys say maths.
Maths, plural.
I'll respect that.
Yes.
Yeah, I learned all of these maths and all of this other stuff, and I'm not using it right now. And that's okay. That's okay. At least you got it, right? Someday you'll use it. Someday you're not going to expect it. And you'll be like, oh, I'm using that stuff I learned back in school, in high school, or elementary school even. And you won't be sad about it. You might feel like it stinks because you didn't get to finish out the school the normal way. But this is one of those situations where you just got to listen to Life Might Take Us.
Mm-hmm.
This is just that situation.
That's a great song.
Where you have to turn on Life Might Take Us, listen to it a few times and be like, yeah, here we go. Because no one expected this, right? Well, I mean, no, some people expected it once it started, but no one suspected it before it started, right? No one planned for the coronavirus and all of this crazy stuff going on right now, right?
Oh my gosh.
But just like you said, and you had a good attitude, we have an opportunity. We have an opportunity to do something and experience something that won't come again, likely in our lifetime. So take advantage of that. Get excited. Don't worry about what's left unfinished because there's plenty that's left unfinished. And you know what the funny thing is? You'll never finish anyways. If you finished, like you went through school, right? And you completed those courses. Oh, trust me, you didn't finish. You might have gotten a degree. You might have gotten an A in the class. But those subjects, they go on. There's more to math than they can teach you in high school. There's more to math than they can even teach you in college. Maths. Sorry, there's more to maths than they can teach you in college. Maths is an ever-expanding subject. So is science. So is English. These are expanding subjects which you cannot finish learning because there's no end to them. So if you like some of them, continue learning. And don't worry about this school thing because it doesn't matter too much. You got yourself in a good position already. So just keep on moving forward, man. You know, I'm excited about where you're gonna take your music. Hopefully we can be a part of that, and continue to be a part of it. Because that'd be really cool if we could work together at some point.
Yeah.
But you know, wherever you go in life, there are gonna be tons and tons of things unfinished. But they're finished enough. You know, you can look at any song and be like, oh, there's always more. There's more to change. There's more things I could do to it. Make it sound a little bit better in this aspect. I could make it shorter, take some things out. I can make it longer, add a whole bunch of more stuff. I can make it more epic and grand. I can make it more simple and sweet. There's always something you can do.
It's a never ending ever.
It doesn't end. It doesn't end. Joe knows this. I know this. And if you don't know it yet, Jono, you will learn.
You're going to know it.
Yeah. That's just the way life is. Nothing ever goes finished, really. There are things like basically what we have in the Joe and I in the music industry. Finished means you have a song and it's already released to the public. That's when you finished a piece, right?
Right.
But it doesn't mean you're finished as an artist. It doesn't mean you're finished with your career. You have to write more music. You're not done. You have to do more things. You have to promote it. You know, you're not done. You know, just because you've finished one song. Yeah. So that's
half the time when you're going to be promoting it again, that means you got to listen to it again. And that's the worst thing you can do because you spent so much time listening to the doggone thing and you finally made it public because you didn't want to listen to it ever again. And now you got to promote it.
Yeah, but then you also have to listen to it all the way through, paying very close attention that you actually upload the right file and it uploaded correctly with no errors. And you're like, oh man, this is taking forever. I know it's only like a 4-minute song, but it feels like it's been 20. And it's only 5 seconds in. Anyways. No, it's cool because life isn't meant to be finished till you're dead, basically. So just keep on going. It's great. And yeah, use this opportunity to the best of your ability. It's really cool, man. Obviously, I didn't really say a whole lot. I didn't add on to Joe. Just kind of talked about a couple aspects. But they're important. They're ones that last the rest of your life, and they apply to everyone here. They apply to everyone, whether you're in the music industry or not. They apply to everyone here.
Yep.
You know, and for last times doing things, yeah, it is an interesting feeling. But there's going to be a lot of last times in your life. There's going to be a lot of first times. That's just the way it is. Sometimes you feel like you took things for granted. But you know what? Life continues forward and allows you to appreciate different things in different ways than you had before. You know, take this opportunity to be like, you know what? I don't know when the last time I'm going to do something is now. So I'm just going to try to take it as it is and live that moment as I'm meant to, leaving the best impression I can on it. You know, when you meet somebody, you don't know if you'll see them again. Love them as best you can because you're never going to regret that. You'll always be happy if the last thing you ever did was love on them the best you could. Always say, I love you. Goodbye. You know.
Oh, bye-bye.
Oh, bye-bye. Oh, bye-bye. Bye-bye. My mom always used to go, bye-bye. And she got it from somebody else who, like, she worked real estate and as a realtor or a realtor broker. Anyways, there was someone in her office every time they were to turn off, like hang up their phone, they're like, bye-bye. And they'd click. And everyone just started doing it at the office because this person did it. Like, why do you go bye-bye? Like sometimes bye-bye. And sometimes it was like, bye-bye. It was so funny. So my mom just picked it up and was like, bye-bye. Like she started doing it without even realizing it. I thought it was her thing. She picked it up from somebody else that she worked with.
I'm going to start doing that.
She's done it for years. She did it for years. Bye-bye.
That's great.
And I'm like, that's a thing? She's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I'm gonna start doing that.
Yeah, bye-bye. Anyways. Anyways, back on the subject. That's just if you live life like you love it, loving the things in it, you're not gonna have regrets. It's gonna be awesome. And you're gonna love life. You're gonna love living it. So just do that, right? Man, you have such a great future in front of you, Jono. So awesome. And I'm excited to see where you take it. Because it's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you have anything, you have no fears written in this post, just sadness and concern over, just like the calamity and trying to figure out what's my position now. Like, how I've been like feeling weird and sad and angry and a little bit anxious and yeah, I'm confused, right? But everything will clear up. There's no reason to have any sorts of worry or anxiety, because life's gonna be awesome, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Just take each moment and love it. Just focus on that. You'll find that there's your anxiety goes away, your fear goes away, your anger goes away, your sadness that might stay. But you know what? The sorrow is good. We don't like the feeling of being sad, but it's still a good thing. Pain is a good thing. It helps build muscle, but also helps shape us into better human beings. Helps show our affection and love for something. Pain. So it's okay to be a little sad. It's okay to be a little angry. Let that anger fuel you. That's what anger's for. Anger is actually the emotion to fuel you. It creates like your muscles start to get tense, and you go like, ah, right? Mm-hmm. It's to fuel your fire. What are you going to use it for? And just use it for good, man. Anyways, that's all I got to say. You're awesome, dude. And yeah. Thanks, man.
Yes. And thank you for posting that at bss.studio. I just followed you on SoundCloud. I clicked the link and I followed.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah. So,
thanks for sharing.
But I'm not on SoundCloud very much at all. So I'm glad you put also on bss.studio, because I'm on bss.studio more than I'm on SoundCloud. Mm-hmm. And I know I think I recognize some of the names of these, but yeah. I'm excited to listen. I'm excited to hear what you've put out there.
Oh, so. Yeah, definitely. I can promise you they're going to be good. He's really good. Anyways, we've run over the 2-hour mark, but that's all right. It's going to be time to shut it down now, guys. So thanks for being with us here, all of you guys. We appreciate you. We love you. And we're so happy to have you here.
Yeah. Come back in 7 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Because we're going to be on.
Because Joe is going to do a double cup of Joe, and you'll be as a good thing to do for your mornings or your afternoons, depending where you live.
Ryan's going to be in the chat.
I might be.
One day.
I didn't know you guys were doing it. If you guys had told me, I would have been there. I had no idea.
Yeah. We were surprised. We even surprised ourselves a little bit with that.
Nice. So yeah, I didn't know you were going to do it this morning. Otherwise, I probably would have been there. So, But now I know.
Yeah. And and there's another Twitch stream tomorrow.
Yep. There's a Don't Worry Wednesday. There's Don't Fret Friday and Don't More Mondays now. So if you can make any of them, that's awesome. Now also we've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday every morning at 6:30 p.m. or sorry, 6:30 a.m. Eastern is Double Cup of Joe with your hosts Joe Anderson and Joe Bohan. And Jesse and I are doing gaming streams alongside Princess and Cats and whoever likes to join us. For those adventures, we're doing one tomorrow around 2 or 3 p.m. Eastern. We also do them every Saturday and Sunday. And we're also going to be possibly picking up more days in the coming future here. We have yet to discuss it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Lots going on here. So if you are available for any of those, stop on by.
We're going to try and cram in some more.
Yep.
You just wait till Thursday, Ryan, when we have our conference call. I got more ideas.
Oh, great. All right. Nice.
It's like, oh boy.
Okay. Well, we'll
more
see about it.
shows, more streams, more chats, more contact. We just love you guys so much. We want to be with you guys as much as possible. So yeah, thank you guys for being here. And thanks for the lively chat. It's been great.
Yep. We love you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And I'll possibly see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, guys.
Yes.
Peace.
Bye, guys.